Welcome back to statistics class. Now we'll move towards the next concept, that is inventory theory. Now we are on the last chapter, that is 8th chapter. Last chapter in the sense we skipped two chapters there in between, that is 5th and 6th chapter, and this is the last chapter according to your syllabus. And in that last chapter we studied, till now we studied 4 units. That first unit it is about linear programming problems. Then we moved towards the transportation problem. Then afterwards we studied game theory. Then we studied the replacement theory. That was the 4th unit. And in that 5th unit, that is inventory theory. That's about inventory theory. Now, what do you mean by inventory? You all know about inventory. What do you mean by inventory? Inventory, it's nothing but a stock of goods. Stock of goods in the sense physical stock of goods. It's a physical stock of goods. Physical stock of goods which is maintained for the purpose of future sale or for the purpose of production. Sometimes for the purpose of future sale. Future sale means that is finished product, the finished item which is which we completed the production, and we need to distribute it to different outlets or the retail traders. We have to distribute, but before distributing it we will store it. That is for the purpose of future sale. And also in case of for the purpose of production, what we store for the purpose of production, that is raw material. Various kind of raw materials we require in order to production of any of the product. So after purchasing that raw materials from the dealers, we'll maintain it in a particular place called warehouse, and there we maintain the stock. So that stock also we call it as inventory. So inventory is nothing but it's a physical stock of goods. It's a physical stock of goods which we maintain for the purpose of future sale or for the purpose of production. Future production. Production means we store their raw materials. Future sale means we store their finished product. So it might be raw materials or it might be finished product, or sometimes it might be semi-finished product. So inventory is a physical stock of goods which is maintained for the purpose of future sale or production. This is a one mark question. What do you mean by inventory? It's a physical stock of goods which is maintained for the purpose of future sale or future production. And when we maintain this physical stock of goods, that is inventory, we have to spend there. We have to spend variety of cost incurred in order to maintain that physical stock of goods, that is inventory. In order to inventory, we have to spend there will be some of the expenses in order to maintain that. That expenses we call it as cost. So we have to some of the cost associated with it in order to maintain it. So the cost, which are the cost? That cost we divided it into 4 types. There are 4 kinds of cost which associated with the maintenance of inventory. In order to maintain inventory, we have to spend or we have to expenses. So some of the cost incurred there. So that cost we divide it into 4 kinds. Those costs we divide it into 4 kinds. Those stocks are, first one, that is maintenance cost. Maintenance cost. Then setup cost. And third one, penalty cost. Or shortage cost. And fourth one, purchase cost. And in this particular chapter, and also while solving the problem, you should be knowing this cost. These 4 kinds of cost associated with the maintenance of inventory. So now we'll see one by one what is this maintenance cost, setup cost, penalty cost or purchase cost. Now we'll take their first one, that is maintenance cost. Mainly here this maintenance cost, it is also called as holding cost or carrying cost. It is also called as holding cost or carrying cost. So you should be knowing all the names. You should be knowing here all the names. So here maintenance or holding or carrying cost. So we call it as maintenance cost or holding cost or carrying cost. So carrying cost, holding cost and maintenance cost is one and the same. Now what is this cost? This is the cost associated with the maintenance of that particular inventory. Maintenance of inventory means, for example, we can take here, it might be the rent, the payment of rent or payment of insurance premium, insurance premium. This can, you can give as example, or spoilage, breakage, what cost will incur, that is the maintenance cost. So rent or insurance premium, for example, the maintenance cost is rent or insurance premium, and this maintenance cost we denoted by C1. We denote it by C1. This you have to remember, because in the formula you have to use this maintenance cost as C1. But in order to identify the problem, the C1, you should be knowing these three names. Maintenance cost or holding cost or carrying cost. It is equal to C1. That means it is C1. So maintenance cost is the cost which incur in order to maintain that inventory for a particular period of time. How long that inventory will be there in that particular warehouse, in order to maintain, what cost will incur. So which kind of cost is associated? The payment of rent for that warehouse it might be, or payment of insurance premium. We will, you know that there will be insurance for the inventory. If anything happens for that, while storing it, if anything happens, for that we will make insurance too. So insurance premium or spoilage or something, breakage or something happens there. So that we call it as, these are the cost we call it as carrying cost, and it is denoted by C1, the capital letter C1. So C1 means maintenance, holding or carrying cost. Then we'll move to the next one, that is second one. Second one, that is what we have taken here, setup cost. Now this setup cost we also call it as procurement cost, or else we call it as order cost, So setup cost, the procurement cost or order cost. So what is this cost? This cost is nothing but, in order to produce some product, what are the arrangements we need to do. So in order to do that arrangements, what cost incurs, that we call it as setup cost or procurement cost or order cost. It might be in order to arrange the machines. Some production has to happen, but some machine we have to make it ready. So in order to make that machine ready to produce, what cost will incur? That is setup cost. In order to set up in order to produce something, what kind of arrangement we need to do. For that arrangement, what cost incurs? That we call it as setup cost. For example, you can take here you can take labor cost, or you can take it as transport cost, or else you can take purchase cost, See, labor cost means, as I said, we have to make machines ready then. In order to repair work, anything is there, we will call someone, or some arrangement we have to do. So there some labors we require there. So what payment we make to those laborers. So that is labor cost in order to make the arrangements. And transport cost, we have to get the raw materials, we have to order the raw materials. That raw materials has to come, we have to transport. Then in order to transit from that place to particular destination, then it requires transport, we have to spend there, so that is transport cost. And purchase cost, the purchasing of that raw materials. So such kind of cost we call it as setup cost, procurement cost or order cost, and it is denoted by C3, not C2, it is denoted by C3. And here you have to remember this particular letter we use in the formula. Here this particular letter we use in the formula. So you should be remember here what is C3 when we need to take particular item as C3. If a particular item named as setup, procurement or order cost means you have to consider it as C3. Or if a particular item named as maintenance, holding or carrying cost means we have to take it as C1. So this is about maintenance cost and setup cost. And further, two more costs are incurred here. We'll see that two more cost, which is that incurred there. Now, third one it is, as I said, it is penalty cost, penalty or shortage. Actually we will not say it as usually penalty, it is shortage cost. Shortage cost, shortage or stock out cost, or stock out cost. This is the third cost associated with that inventory, penalty or shortage or stock out cost. Which situation we call it as there is a shortage cost. See, when we are inability or we are not able to meet the demand, what demand is there outside, we are shortage to meet that demand. So that cost we call it as it is shortage cost. It is when we are not able to meet the demand or we are delay in meeting the demand. We delay in meeting the demand or we are not able to meet that particular demand which is there outside. So during that time, what cost incurred in order to that particular organization or so maintenance of inventory, that we call it as penalty cost or stock out cost. Stock out means stock will not be there, or else shortage cost. Shortage means what is required will not be there. Demand is there, but here we don't have the stock. So here what kind of, if we take example, what kind of cost may incur? It may be, for example, it may be loss of goodwill. The loss of goodwill or the profit loss or the loss of sales loss. This kind of example we give there, either loss of goodwill because we are not able to meet the demand or we may delay in meeting the demand, or else we lost the profit there, or we lost some of the sales. Actually the sales was there but we are not meeting that sales because we don't have enough stock with us in order to occupy that particular place or in order to meet that particular sales. So these three you can give as example for shortage cost or stock out cost or penalty cost. These are the cost we call it as penalty cost or stock out penalty. It is a penalty for not maintaining the required stock. And these three letters we denote it as C2. We denote it as C2. So here shortage cost we name it as C2. So in the problem, if you get particular item named as shortage cost or stock out cost or penalty cost, you have to consider it as C2. But sometime in the problem it will come as, they will not mention any these three names, penalty cost, shortage cost or stock out cost. They will not mention. They may write the sentence there, inability to meet the demand or delay in meeting the demand. That is nothing but it is penalty or shortage cost only. In that situation also you have to consider that particular cost as C2. Now the last one, fourth one is remaining there, that is purchase cost. It is the purchase, or we call it as the purchase or production cost. Purchase or production cost. What is that purchase or production cost? Purchase or production cost means whatever cost incurred in order to produce, in order to manufacture that product or purchasing that product. Purchasing or manufacturing. When we purchase any of the item, what cost we pay for that? What cost we pay for that? That cost is nothing but production cost. It is nothing but what cost incurred for them in order to produce that particular product. What cost incurred while manufacturing that product. That cost we call it as purchase cost, and it is denoted by P. It is denoted by P. So here four kinds of cost associated in order to maintain the inventory. The first one comes maintenance, holding or carrying cost. Mainly you have to remember these three names. And next, setup, procurement or order cost, that is C3. Then comes their penalty, shortage or stock out cost, that is C2. Then at last comes purchase cost. In order to purchase the product, what cost? What we pay when we purchase some item, what amount we pay. That is purchase. It might be the purchase of machines, or it might be purchase of any kind of equipment. So that cost we denoted by P. So these are the four important costs associated with the maintenance of inventory. Nextly, some other topics are there. It's about variables, controllable and uncontrollable variables. We'll see further. Now we'll see there two topics. One is variables in an inventory and some of the terms which we use in this particular chapter. Now in case of variables, there we can see there two kinds of variables, that is controlled variables and uncontrolled variables. So what is that controlled variables? The variables which we can control, which particular the inventory, those who will maintain the inventory, which the variables they can control, that we call it as controlled variable. Which they can control? They can control, they have control on the quantity of goods and on what quantity of goods they have to acquire. It might be raw materials, or what quantity. They know that for the particular the production of particular item, what quantity they require. That quantity they can take from the what suppliers, that they know very well. So that we can give example as a controlled variable. Controlled variable. Then uncontrolled variable means where they do not have any kind of control. It might be for example, if we take, you can be there by this one, inventory cost. The inventory cost. We have seen four kind of inventory cost, because we don't have any control on that particular inventory cost. The maintenance cost, sometimes it may go up depending upon the situation. Something may happen there, so it is not in our control. It may go here and sometimes up or sometimes down. So it is uncontrolled variable. Which one? Inventory cost. Then if we take, it is demand. Demand is also one of the factor which is uncontrollable. We can consider under uncontrollable variable. Why we can consider under uncontrollable variable? Because we will not be knowing what kind of demand it will come in the future. If the consumers, if they like some product, there will be huge demand. Or sometimes the other perspective. For example, now if we take the items like sanitizer or mask, it has huge demand. It depending upon the what condition is prevailing at present. It has huge demand. But some days back, or in the last year, there were not demand for sanitizer or mask in this large scale. There were not demand also. There were no production of such kind of things in the large scale also. So sometimes the prevailing condition, it fixes the demand of particular product. So it is not a controllable factor, it is an uncontrollable factor. That is inventory cost and demand you can give as example. It's one small topic under this. Now the terms used in inventory. What are these terms? These terms you should be knowing. So in that first comes stock replenishment. What is that stock replenishment? Stock replenishment in the simple sense that the whatever we supply, it is nothing but filling the items, or the filling the required demand. We call it as stock replenishment. What is that? Refilling. For example, we produce the product and we store it in the warehouse, and that product we have to supply to various various not suppliers, various retail people. They want that this particular product, so we will according to their demand we supply it to different locations. The finished product we supply, and once what we supply, if it gets over, once again we supply. So filling the goods, or the not goods, the filling the stock, what once we supplied, it got over already, once again we are filling it. So filling the supply or filling the goods, we call it as stock replenishment, filling the stock. Then next comes their demand. Demand is nothing but the required quantity of goods, the required quantity of goods which is expected, which is expected, it might by the supplier or the consumers or the retail storekeepers. So it is a expected quantity which are expected by the suppliers. These are the required quantity of goods and denoted by R. You should remember there in the problem, if demand comes, you have to denote it by R. R means demand here. In case of inventory, R is demand. Then comes their lead time. Lead time is the gap between the placing an order and arrival of that goods. What is the gap? That we call it as lead time. For example, we place the order. We require so and so raw materials. Today we place the order, or yesterday we place the order. For example, we place the order 9th August, we place the order. We are going to receive it, and in 15th August we are going to receive that order in 15th August. So what is this gap? This gap is called as lead time. So lead time is a gap between placing an order and arrival of that goods. That gap we call it as lead time. Then time horizon. Time horizon means the particular period. For what period we plan this entire inventory plan. For what period we plan this entire inventory. That we call it as time horizon. The particular stock, we are maintaining particular stock. Now we have to produce something. It may be mask or sanitizer we have to produce. Now we are purchasing raw materials. We are purchasing raw materials, and we will be knowing till what time we have to maintain this inventory. When the production going to start, or when that this production of this particular item going to end. So entire plan will be there in front of us. That entire time we call it as time horizon, starting from purchasing of raw materials and when this particular process will get over. That entire time period we call it as, for entire time period we have to plan for this inventory. For entire time period, in order to maintain this inventory, we have to plan. That time period we call it as time horizon. That entire plan, how long it will take, that time period is time horizon. And next comes their EOQ and ELS. What is that EOQ? EOQ is nothing but economic order quantity. This name you should be knowing. It is nothing but economic order quantity or economic lot size. Economic lot size. What is this? This is nothing but bulk purchasing. Economic lot size means whatever raw materials we require, we are purchasing it in a bulk. Once in a lump, like a lump sum, what we pay, make the payment. In same way, bulk purchasing is called as economic order quantity. Why we use the word economic? If we make the bulk purchase, there are some advantage. What is the advantage? Now we may get concession there. We may get the discount. We can purchase purchase at the rate of discount, and also the transport cost will be reduced. For example, once we purchase one small quantity, it gets over. Once again we have to spend for transport. Once again we have to purchase. So the bulk purchasing, it reduces the transport cost, and when we purchase anything in a bulk, we get discount also. So economic order quantity or economic lot size, it is nothing but bulk purchasing, where we get some kind of advantage. The required quantity we are purchasing in bulk. So now it is controllable variable and uncontrollable variable. Controllable means which we can control. Uncontrollable means which we cannot control, like inventory cost and demand. And there are some terms we use, that is stock replenishment. It is nothing but filling the goods which is already, which has been used, which we sent once, it has been used or it got over, once again we are filling. So that is stock replenishment. Demand means the required quantity of goods. Lead time, it is the time gap between placing an order and arrival of goods. Time horizon means the entire time for what we plan our inventory. The entire time period, for which time period we plan our inventory. EOQ and ELS, that is economic order quantity and economic lot size. So further here we have advantage of your advantage of inventory, and also we can see here two kinds of models, and also you have to you have some two sets of formulas. So those things we will see in the next session. For today's session we can wind up. So